cannot be natural on camera. It cannot. Not normal. Unless I forget that I'm talking to the camera and just kind of talk as if I'm talking to someone else, I guess. I guess that's the way you should look at it. So you avoid the feedback loop of seeing yourself talking as you're talking. Hi, there I am again. Hi, how you doing? See, as soon as I look at myself, I turn into a blabbering idiot, which is not too far from, stop looking at myself, god damn it, Okay, I gotta figure out a starting place and try to remember what direction it goes in, from that starting point, which is so relevant to everything. Okay, the 0 point. Okay, we gotta think about that in terms of dimensions, right? You got a bunch of different one-dimensional things that are all relative to themselves. You got a bunch of zeros, right? Extending, in opposite directions, right? Those are dimensions. You take the zeros of, say, 3 different dimensions and you put them together at their 0 point. You've got 3 dimensions depending on the rules at which or how you align them. Right? They got to be aligned right, or it doesn't work. They have to be their opposites have to be as far apart from each other as they can be. All in a dimensional, to create multi-dimensional spaces that are all aligned at their starting or origin point, or 0. All these 3 zeros to make up, or 3 dimensions intersecting at 0, which is 3 dimensions. 3 zeros, all in one point. Oriented in different directions. 0 is a dimension. Okay, relative to itself. All right, 0 is a dimension. Think of it that way, I guess. But in order to create multi-dimensional dimensions, which is what a 3-dimensional space is multi-dimensional. 3-dimensional, to be accurate. It simplifies it so much on how to see multi-dimensional. In that from a 3-dimensional, like from the zeros, where all the dimensions are connected, right? 0, at the 0 point when they all intersect. From a single point, you connect dimensions at their origin point to create dimensions, multi-dimensionals, right? Did I just make that word up? I don't know. But the reason I'm also what I'm a side point to all this dimensional talk is that if you were a single point, if you were viewing all directions simultaneously from a single point in all directions, you would see every possible you would see the most dimensions you can see, until those individual dimensions start to, there's so many that it becomes not pixelated, let's say, not digital amounts of numerical amounts of dimensions, until it becomes a single point again. That's what I'm seeing. I think that's why I got that idea. I couldn't explain it that way to myself, but I had a hunch on this idea that I couldn't explain to myself, but I think that's kind of how to explain it. It's that if you can see all directions simultaneously from a single point, you will, it'll all lead back to a single point. I don't know if it's the point of origin or an opposing point, but if the universe was like how does it, from the inside of the universe, what does it look like? And from objectively, what does it look like? What do you look at when you see an object? You are looking at it objectively, okay? When you are within that object, what are you seeing? If you look in all directions simultaneously, if you could see the object fully from within the object, subjectively, let's say, what would you be seeing? Whereas objectively, the object would be separate from you, right? But from within, you would see a three-dimensional space objectively. It would be like, that's the universe, that's what it looks like. I don't know what it looks like if you're looking at it objectively. But if you were within that object, let's say subject to it, and able to see it, the entirety of it, from a single point within it, what would that look like? Is that like creating a wormhole or something? Is that a way of, is that how you, see the universe from, seeing the universe objectively from within the universe? Does that make sense? From a perspective of a single point within that universe in all directions, seeing the universe then allows you to be objective as to what the universe could look like or what it is. And it's, I've been thinking pretty clearly lately and visualizing better. I don't think I've upgraded my equipment, my brain. I think I just have a better way of functioning, like a better set of instructions for my little processor, my limited amount of memory, or short-term memory, which is like RAM, and then long-term memory, which is like the hard drive, or maybe the subconscious, I don't know. But I think I have a better way of doing things, of understanding and processing and gaining new understanding. It's kind of weird. It's like somebody corrected something in my head, or I was able to do it myself, or I don't know. I don't know how that would work, but it's kind of interesting. Not that it doesn't fail a lot, not that I don't get viruses, which is other people's nonsense, they're trying to confuse me, which it does, it goes right in there. Yeah. But, yeah, think about it, consider it, consider what I'm saying, if you want. My battery's running out, and I just received 4 Facebook Messenger messages from one person so I am going to go see what that's about. I think I've talked enough anyway, really. But it is an interesting way of viewing things, if you don't mind me saying so. Okay. Bye-bye. I'm actually looking at myself and not feeling like a retard. Okay, thanks.